You've been taught that strategy is about making the right decision. That's the trap. The amateur strategist obsesses over the choice in front of them. The master strategist designed the board so long ago that the choice is already made. Your intelligence is being wasted on a game you don't even know you're playing. There is a code, a single mental model that separates reactive pawns from proactive architects. It's not about IQ. It's not about working harder. It's about a flaw in human perception that the most powerful figures in history have learned to exploit. And today you're going to learn it. The human brain is wired for linearity. We see cause and we see effect. We see a problem and we look for the most direct solution. This is our greatest weakness. In war, it's the general who sends his troops straight into the fortress, only to be annihilated. In business, it's the CEO who cuts prices to beat a competitor, only to start a price war that bankrupts everyone. But what if the fortress wasn't the target? What if the competitor wasn't the enemy? The master strategist doesn't play the game on the board you can see. They operate on a different plane entirely. They understand the Cascade Principle. The Cascade Principle is the practice of mapping the second, third, and fourth order consequences of an action. Example: if I fire my toxic but high-performing sales director, the first order consequence is that the sales team might be relieved. Second order: the remaining sales team might struggle to hit targets without his aggressive drive. Third order: the company culture improves, attracting better long-term talent, while I have to personally mentor the team, strengthening their loyalty and developing a new sustainable model for sales. The amateur stops at the first order. The professional thinks to the third. The master thinks beyond. The goal is not to win the battle, but to shape the landscape so the war is won before it's even fought. Let's look at a master, Cosimo de' Medici. In 15th century Florence, power was won with swords and armies. But Cosimo didn't want to be a warlord. He wanted to be the power behind the throne. His strategy was the Cascade Principle in action. His first order move: he loaned money to struggling artists and philosophers. The obvious result? He looked like a patron. Second order: these artists and philosophers, now loyal to him, began to shape the culture of Florence and all of Europe. They created the narrative. Third order: this cultural dominance gave him immense soft power. He influenced who became pope, who became king. He didn't own an army. He owned the minds of the people who influenced the armies. He built a financial and cultural network so powerful that his family dominated Europe for centuries. He didn't fight the system. He became the operating system. Oh, how do you install this? You use the therefore drill. Take any decision you're facing. Write down the action and then force yourself to write 3 therefore statements. I will publicly criticize my competitor's product. Therefore, they will be forced to respond defensively. Therefore, the market will see this as a petty feud, losing respect for both of us. Therefore, a third, quieter competitor might emerge as the adult in the room and steal market share. See, the first move was terrible. This drill forces you to see the cascade before you trigger it. Before any major move, you must map the cascade. It's not optional. It's the price of entry for strategic thinking. Stop being a player who reacts to the game. Your goal is to become the architect who designs it. Intelligence is no longer about knowing the most facts. It's about seeing the most connections. It's about depth, not just speed. The Cascade Principle is your first tool. Wield it wisely. Map the ripples, anticipate the waves, and you will find that the power you sought was never in fighting the current, but in understanding it so deeply you can redirect the river itself. If you want to go deeper, I've created a lot of videos on the strategies used by history's greatest minds. Subscribe to start building your strategic depth.